Start.
Sometimes it helps if you just move.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, it's some, I was told it's some standing the.
I see. Okay. All right. So, yesterday, what we saw, we are considering generalized Cartan matrix of affine type, which is in that case determinant of A is 0 and rank of A is n minus 1, and dimension of the center in this case is n minus 1, so it is 1. So, today we will see what we will do. We will take the loop algebra and we take the one dimensional central extension of that. So, yesterday we saw loop algebra. So, G naught, let G naught be a finite dimensional simple Lie algebra over C. So, its loop algebra is this is the loop algebra of G naught, and this is L tensor G naught, where this is the Laurent polynomial ring in the variable t, and elements here are of this type P tensor X, P belongs to L and X belongs to G naught. So, we saw, and the bracket, so this is an infinite dimensional complex Lie algebra, and the bracket here is defined in this way. So, this is PQ X bracket Y. So, P and Q are from L and X and Y are from G naught. Alright. So, yesterday I defined a complex valued bilinear function on L. So, this is a function. So, what is this? This is phi of P Q is equal to residue of dP upon dt Q. Okay. And we saw that it satisfies two properties, phi of PQ is equal to minus phi of QP, and another property is phi of PQR plus phi of QRP plus phi of RP is equal to 0, that property. Okay, so, this is a function, and then I define a complex value 2 cocycle on LG naught. So, on LG naught, on the loop algebra, we defined a complex valued 2 cocycle, and this was phi of AB is equal to, so residue of dA upon dt B. So, what is this bilinear form? So, I considered a bilinear form on G naught, this is a bilinear form on G naught, bilinear non-degenerate complex valued symmetric form on G naught, and we extended this form on LG naught. And what is that extension? So, P tensor X, Q tensor Y, and on LG naught this is PQ X bilinear form Y, right? We saw this yesterday. So, this is the bilinear form on the loop algebra LG naught, and on LG naught we define a complex value 2 co-cycle this psi of AB is equal to residue of dA upon dt B and this bilinear form. Okay. And we checked this also. So, what are the two properties we checked yesterday? Phi of AB is equal to minus phi of BA, and other one was we checked this one, phi of A bracket BC plus phi of B bracket C A plus phi of C bracket A B is equal to 0, where A, B, C are from LG naught. Is this okay? So, we check these two properties. So, with this becomes a complex value 2 co-cycle on the loop algebra. So, no, this is not phi, but this is psi, because we have already denoted phi. So, this is psi. Okay. Okay. All right. So, today we will consider a one dimensional central extension of this loop algebra associated to this co-cycle. Okay. So, we denote by L tilde G naught a Lie algebra which is obtained by adjoining one dimensional center. So, this one dimensional center is this K, multiples of K. Okay. So, multiples of K and we are adjoining this to LG naught. Okay. So, what is this? So, explicitly if we write, this is LG naught direct sum Ck. Okay. This is direct sum. Okay. Direct sum of vector space. And how is the bracket defined here? So, we take two elements from here. Okay. So, we take A plus lambda k, B plus mu k, where A and B are coming from LG naught. Okay. A and B are coming from LG naught. Lambda and mu are complex numbers. So, how is this bracket defined? This is, I denoted that by bracket naught. So, this is A B naught, this is the bracket in LG naught plus psi of A B k. So, this is one dimensional central extension of this associated to the co-cycle psi. They are not playing any role. Yes. Yes. Yes, they are not playing any role. Yes. Yeah. Yes. So, this is just the bracket in LG naught which we have defined there, and this is psi of AB and K. So, this is associated to the co-cycle psi. So, and now finally what we do, so we take a derivation. So, yesterday I told that if I take a derivation of L, okay. So, any derivation of L, that can be extended to a derivation of Lg naught. How? We can extend it in this way. dp and tensor x, right. In this way we can extend any derivation of L to a derivation of Lg naught. So, today we will see, we are taking this derivation d, which is T d upon dt. It is a derivation now of Lg naught, okay, because anyway it is a derivation of L, we are extending this to a derivation of Lg naught. So, now we will extend it to a derivation of L tilde g naught. So, how? So, we will show that this, so this derivation acts on this and this derivation will be acting, it will be killing k. Okay, so, I will prove. So, we now adjoin one derivation to L tilde g naught. So, I will prove. So, this is first of all, this is a derivation of L g naught, that is clear, but we have to show that this is a derivation of L tilde g naught. That part we will be showing it today. So, first of all, this is a derivation of L, that derivation we have extended to be a derivation of L g naught. So, this is clear, but we have to show that this is a derivation of L tilde g naught. So, that part we will be showing. But how does it act? So, T d upon dt. So, if you are taking t raised to the power m, so how does it act? It will be just taking the power out, right. So, if I take the derivative, this is just m t raised to the power m and multiplying by t. Okay. So, this derivation acts but just by taking the power out. Is it clear? First we are taking derivative of t raised to the power m, which is m t raised to the power m minus 1, and then multiplying by t. So, this is the way this derivation acts. All right. So, okay, so finally L tilde g naught, this is the Lie algebra which is obtained by adjoining a derivation d, which is T d upon dt of Lg naught. This is a derivation of L tilde g naught which kills C, which kills K. So, my claim is that we will be proving that this is a derivation of L tilde g naught, that we will be proving in a short while. So, This I will prove in a short while. So, I just write it here, d, which is t d upon dt, is a derivation of the Lie algebra L tilde G naught. So on L G naught, this is acting as this is T d upon dt. So d is equal to T d upon dt, and on K it is killing the, so action of d on K is 0. So this we will prove. So first we come back to our Lie algebra. So we are adjoining this derivation to L tilde G naught. Okay. So what is this Lie algebra now? So this becomes my loop algebra, direct sum, one dimensional center, direct sum, this derivation. Okay. And what is the bracket? Again, this is a vector space direct sum. And what is the bracket here? So bracket, the bracket is defined by, how do we define? So we take two elements from here. So t raised power m tensor x plus lambda k plus mu d t raised power n tensor y plus lambda 1 k plus mu 1 d. And how is it? So on these two we use the earlier bracket on L G naught. So we will be writing it t raised power m plus n tensor x bracket y. Is it clear? Yeah. And k is the center, right? So this will be 0, and mu d on this, what will be? What will it be? Mu d. So it will take out the power. So it will be plus mu n t raised power n tensor y. So plus mu n t raised power n tensor y. Okay? And with rest this is 0. And now, so now you have one mu 1 d here and we have one term here. So how will it work? So this will be minus mu 1, and again we take out the power. So this will be m t raised power m tensor x. Okay? Plus the center element, which is psi of this and this t raised power m tensor x, t raised power n tensor y, and then k. So is it okay? So now we calculate. Sorry?
The bracket is going to be.
Yes.
If you take elements of L tilde G naught, then bracket plus and D acts on the D acts on.
Yes, D is acting on this, and action of D, bracket of D with K is 0. Okay. So this is, so let us calculate this. What is that? Let us calculate psi of t raised to the power m tensor x. So let us see what is this psi of t raised power m tensor x, t raised power n tensor y. So what is this? This is residue of derivative here. So t raised m t raised power m minus 1 multiplied by this, and then the bilinear form x y. Okay. And so what is this? This will be 1 only when m plus n is 0, because coefficient of t raised power minus 1 we have to see, right. So this will be 1 only when m plus n is 0. So we can write this as m delta m minus n, Kronecker delta m minus n, and this is x bilinear form y. Is it okay? Because you see the power here is now m plus n minus 1, and that will become 1 only when this plus this is 0, because we are taking the residue. So we can write like this. Okay. So finally we have got the bracket like this. So finally the bracket is t raised power m plus n x bracket y plus mu n t raised to the power n tensor y minus mu 1 m t raised power m tensor x plus m delta m minus n x y k. So this is the Lie bracket in the affine Kac-Moody Lie algebra. Okay. So this is, so this L tilde L hat G naught is affine Kac-Moody Lie algebra of type Xn1. Okay. Where this is the generalized, this is the Cartan matrix of the Lie algebra G naught. These are like AL, BL, CL, DL, E6, E7, E8, F4, G2. So this is the affine Kac-Moody Lie algebra, and this is the bracket. And so one thing we have to prove, that this D is a derivation of L tilde G naught. So let us see this. All right. So all right. So let ds, we are proving this. So let ds be the endomorphism. Let ds be the endomorphism of the space LG naught. It is defined by Now this is the endomorphism of this defined by this. On Lg naught it is defined by minus t raised power s plus 1 d upon dt, and on k it is killing k. So this is the endomorphism. So what we have, our d is what? We have, so our d is minus of d0. So what is d0 here? d0 is minus t d upon dt. We are taking t d upon dt. So our d is minus d0. So once we prove that this is a derivation of L tilde g naught, we will be done. Okay. So we are proving much more general thing than what we are supposed to prove. Okay. So we are taking a general endomorphism of this type of L tilde g naught, and we will prove that this is a derivation. So let us see that. Okay. So how do we prove this? So is this a derivation of L g naught? So this is the proof. Let this d is ds. D is a derivation of L g naught, right? Okay. So we want to prove it's a derivation of L tilde g naught. So what we do, we consider two elements, A plus lambda k, B plus mu k. We consider two elements from L tilde g naught, and so what is this bracket? So this is A B naught, bracket of A B. So A and B are elements from L g naught, lambda and mu are complex numbers. Okay. So this bracket is A B naught plus psi of A B k. Yes, by our definition. Now D is acting as 0 on k. Okay. So this is just D of A B naught plus psi of A B d k, but this is only 0. Okay. And D is a derivation of L g naught. So we can just apply the definition here. So this is just d A B naught plus A d B naught. So this is we have got. So we have got this. Now, so let us see the right hand side what we have. All right. So now we see what we have, d of a plus lambda k b plus mu k plus a plus lambda k d of b plus mu k. Basically we want to prove that this is equal to this, isn't it? In order to prove that this d is a derivation of L tilde G naught, we have to prove that this bracket is exactly equal to this. Alright, so we will see what is this. So what is that? So d is giving 0 on k, so this will be just dA, only dA, and this is b plus mu k, and here it is a plus lambda k dB, because d on k is 0. Is this okay? Now again here this is a bracket in L tilde G naught. So what is this? This is dA b naught, these are elements from the loop algebra, plus psi of this dA b k. See here there is no term of k, but we can assume that this is plus 0 k. So we can write like this. Okay. Similarly, what is this? So this is again a dB naught plus psi of a dB k. All right. So this is exactly equal to this. So if we prove that this plus this sum is 0, then we are done. Okay. So we prove that psi of dA b plus psi of a dB is 0. If we prove this, then we are done. Then we have proved that this d is a derivation of L tilde G naught. Okay. So let us see this. So where a and b are elements of the loop algebra L G naught. So we will prove, so it is sufficient if we consider a as p tensor x and b as q tensor y. So let us see here. So what is that? This is psi of this, psi of dp tensor x and b is q tensor y, plus psi of p tensor x and this is dq tensor y. All right. Now psi is, what is this? We can write this in terms of phi. So this is phi of dp q x bilinear form y. Okay. Yes. Similarly, this can be written as phi of p dq x bilinear form y. Why? Because yesterday I proved, let me remind you, we saw that psi of p tensor x, q tensor y is equal to phi of pq x bilinear form y. We proved this yesterday. Okay. So, I have used it here. Alright, so now what is this phi of dpq? Definition of this is just residue of derivative of this times q. Okay. So, now I take x bilinear form y out, and this is residue of So, d is what? D is minus t raised power s plus 1 d upon dt. Okay. So, derivative, how do we do? So, dp is this, d of p is minus t raised power s plus 1 dp upon dt. Okay. So, this is d upon dt. Can you see here? Oh, no. D upon dt of this t raised power s plus 1 dp upon dt. Switch it over first. So, easier thing will be, let me see. So, we have got phi of dpq, which we can write as minus phi of q dp plus phi of p dq, and this bilinear form is out. Okay. So, this is the thing. So, now we apply that. So, this is residue of d upon dt q and this dp. So, dp is this, again minus will come out. So, it will be plus. So, here it will be plus t raised power s plus 1 dp upon dt, and here again we have residue plus residue of dp upon dt and dq. So, this will be t raised power s plus 1 dq upon dt, here with a minus sign. And x y bilinear form is out. So, these two are same, if these two are same, so this becomes 0. So, this is dq upon dt, dp upon dt. So, these two are same, so it becomes 0. Okay. So, we have proved that d is equal to minus t raised power s plus 1 d upon dt, which acts as 0 on k, is a derivation of L tilde G naught. So, from here we have proved that our d, which was t d upon dt, is a derivation of L tilde G naught. So I finished fine Kac-Moody algebra realization and its bracket. So we have seen that.
Are these all derivations from linear algebra?
Sorry,
Are these all derivations from linear algebra?
all of them are derivations.
Are there any others is what?
Are there any other? There will be more. There will be more, but this is one. I mean, these are one kind. Yesterday he gave one problem, no? So that's there was two terms. One was of this kind, another was, he gave one problem yesterday or in the worksheet.
It was written by.
It was written there. So there are more.
You can choose some derivation of G naught and you can define. So
That
here
was the other term.
if we have chosen the derivation of L Lorentz, then we define.
But see, if you choose the derivation of G naught is simple. Every derivation is inner. So that is going to be an inner derivation. It's already in the end. There is nothing more you can add.
No, this kind.
The other term was R tensor del of G. But del of G, in this case, del of G naught is G. Simple. Del of G naught is
Yeah, yeah, yes. Okay. All right. So this is what we have proved. Now I can tell you one more interestingly algebra, which is Virasoro algebra, which is made using these derivations. So what I wrote, that was affine Kac-Moody algebra associated to a generalized Cartan matrix, and we write that XL1. So XL1. So this represents the finite dimensional simple Lie algebra, and so this is the extended. So this is affine Kac-Moody Lie algebra. So this is finite dimensional simple Lie algebra AL, BL, CL, DL, E6, E7, E8, F4, G2. All right. So now we have seen these derivations. Using these derivations, there is an interesting Lie algebra which is called Virasoro algebra. So I can define that also. So we consider now this D, which is the direct sum of dj's. J belongs to Z, where these dj's are the derivations which we have seen just now. So dj is minus t raised to the power j plus 1 d upon dt. Okay. So this is dj. So what is this? This is a subalgebra of der L tilde G naught. Okay. All right. And this, what is the property? So if, what is the bracket of these any two of the derivations? So what is di bracket dj? We just use the definition here. So this turns out to be I minus j di plus j. Can you see that quickly? Can you just see this? This is a Z-graded subalgebra. This is a Z-graded subalgebra of der L tilde G naught, and the bracket is this. One can check this. So, this is the Lie algebra of regular vector fields on C star. Okay. So, now if we take a central extension of this, central extension of this is again one dimensional, which is unique up to isomorphism, and it is one dimensional. So, D has a unique up to isomorphism one dimensional central extension. So, this is direct sum of dj, j belongs to z plus say c, and the bracket here is defined, bracket is given by, so this is called the Virasoro algebra. This is called Virasoro algebra, and what is the bracket is given by di dj is equal to I minus j di plus j plus 1 upon 12 I cube minus I delta I comma minus j c. So, this is the bracket here. Ij belongs to z. Can you see there? Can you see clearly? Yeah, this is one dimensional central extension. Can you see? Yeah. So, this is the bracket. So, you can check that this is a Lie algebra. Okay. So, this bracket satisfies all the properties of Jacobi identity and all the properties one can check. So, check that D is with this bracket is a Lie algebra. What is it? This is called Virasoro algebra, Virasoro. Check that D is a Lie algebra. Sorry? It's a result. I mean, I am not proving it, but it's a result. All right. So, we have seen affine Kac-Moody Lie algebra. So, now I will describe the root system of affine Kac-Moody Lie algebra in terms of the root system of G naught, which is our finite dimensional simple Lie algebra. So, let us see that. So, root system of L hat G naught. Okay. So, let delta naught, which is in H naught dual, is the root system of G naught. Okay. and alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha L is the root basis of G naught. And previously we were writing alpha 1 check, alpha 2 check, alpha L check for the co-root basis. So, now I will write for simplicity, I will write, because those are elements of H. So, I will write H1, H2, HL is the co-root basis. These are basically alpha 1 check, alpha 2 check, alpha L check. Okay. So this is the co-root basis and the Shivale generators of this finite dimensional Lie algebra. So EI, FI, I varies from 1 to L are Shivale generators of G naught. Now, so do you know about the highest root? Highest root of this finite dimensional simple Lie algebra? Yeah. So that is unique. Okay. So for a finite dimensional simple Lie algebra, highest root is unique. So let theta be the unique highest root of G naught. Okay. And so, and then now we have the root space decomposition of G naught, which is direct sum of G alpha, alpha belongs to delta plus H. So we can write it plus H naught. So this is okay. This is the root space decomposition of G naught with respect to H naught. All right. What is that? Okay, yes, delta naught, yes, thank you. All right, so now what more we know, that this alpha with alpha is not equal to 0 whenever alpha is in delta naught, and dimension of G naught alpha is 1. All this you have seen, right? All right. So now we consider the Shivale involution of our G naught. So what is that? It will be taking EI to minus FI minus EI to minus FI, FI to minus EI, HI to minus HI. So this is the Shivale involution of G naught. Let omega naught be the Shivale involution of G naught. So that means it is taking EI to minus FI, FI to minus EI, and it is taking HI to minus HI. For I varies from 1 to n. Okay. Now we consider an element of g theta naught, g theta. So we consider highest root vector. Let's say f naught, this belongs to g theta naught. Okay, all right, and so we set this f naught, this omega, what is the notation, omega naught on f naught is equal to minus 2 upon theta theta. So we choose f naught belongs to g theta naught such that this happens, such that this holds. All right, and we set because of this ei going to minus fi is going to minus ei, we say that we set this as whatever this is equal to, we say this is minus of E naught. Okay, and this belongs where? This E naught belongs where? This E naught belongs to g of minus theta naught, g of minus theta. Is it clear? Okay. Sorry. This is automorphism from G naught to G naught. So where will it map? On any root space, this goes to G of minus alpha. Yes, so this is a property of this involution. So if you consider any G alpha, it goes to G of minus alpha. So that's why, since I am taking this element from G theta, so omega naught of this element will be in G of minus theta. This is a property, yes, use this property.
Involution. It's not I equals 1 through L.
We have to extend, I mean, these are on Shivale generators I am writing. This is an involution of G naught.
So we have to do it also on G. On G itself we are doing it.
Right now we are considering only this finite dimensional Lie algebra. So this is the involution. We can always, from the generators, we can extend it to the whole of G naught. All right, so this is the thing. So now we will make use of this result which I wrote yesterday, and I told you also we will be making use of that result. X bracket y is equal to x bilinear form y mu inverse alpha. Yesterday I wrote down one theorem, and x belongs to G alpha, y belongs to G minus alpha. Alpha is in delta. Delta is the root system. This we saw yesterday, we saw this result yesterday. So, we will make use of this. Okay, and so can you figure out now what is this E naught bracket F naught? So, this is E naught bracket F naught is the bilinear form E naught F naught, and this E naught belongs to G naught of minus theta. So, we can just write this nu inverse of minus theta. And E naught F naught from here, what is it? So, this is E naught. So, we have seen this F naught, and this is minus E naught is equal to minus 2 upon theta theta. So, this means this is symmetric. So, E naught F naught is equal to 2 upon theta theta. So, this is just 2 upon theta theta. Again, we can write this as 2 upon minus theta nu inverse of minus theta. Why I am writing this? Because we have one result we saw yesterday. So, we saw one result, mu of alpha I check is equal to epsilon I alpha I. You remember we saw this, and epsilon I is nothing but 2 upon alpha I alpha I. Okay. So, alpha I check is 2 upon alpha I because nu is an isomorphism. So, this is nu inverse of alpha I. So, we can write this as minus theta check. So, what we have seen that we have proved E naught F naught is equal to minus theta check. Sorry. Simple roots. Actually, our this highest root can also be written in terms of simple roots. So, this is like summation ai alpha I varies from 1 to n. This is the formulation of this. So, if you use on all simple roots, we can get this. Okay. Is it okay? You're still thinking? All right. Now, so now Anupam has told you that in the adjoint representation, of G naught, is this, you take a maximal vector, you take one maximal vector. So you say we can take F naught. So G naught is written like this, right? You have seen this in Anupam's lecture. Yes, so this belongs to G naught of theta. Yes, this is the highest weight vector. So G naught is written like this. So now we use Poincare-Berkoff-Witt theorem here. So because we have a triangular decomposition, so G naught is what? N naught plus direct sum H naught, direct sum N naught. These are this is the subalgebra generated by E1, E2, EL. This is generated by F1, F2, FL, and this is the Cartan subalgebra. All right, so now use Poincare-Berkoff-Witt theorem here. So what we can write? We can write, so what we can write? U of N naught minus tensor U of H naught tensor U of N naught plus on F naught. Now since this is the highest root, so if I consider some other positive root, that will not be a root. So this will be acting 0 on this, right? Highest root means if you adjoint any other simple root in that will not be a root. So this will be acting as 0, and H naught is acting by a scalar. So this will be just, we can write this as U of N naught minus F naught, this way. Or if I start with E naught, we can write it U of N naught plus E naught. So one can see that all these, so this is just G naught, all these E0, E1, EL, they generate the Lie algebra G naught. Okay, so E0, E1, all this EL generate the Lie algebra G naught. All right. So now we come back to our affine Kac-Moody Lie algebra. So we come back to our affine Kac-Moody Lie algebra, which is L hat of G naught, which is L G naught plus Ck plus Cd. All right, and so sorry. Here, how do I get from here to here? No, this is one thing. Now if I start G naught can be also written like U G naught of E naught. Okay, so this is another thing, this is another thing. So what I want to say, either all E naughts or all F naughts, they generate the Lie algebra G naught. So we have either this or this or this. All right. So now we come back to our affine Kac-Moody Lie algebra, and what we do, so we consider all those linear functional on H naught, and we can extend it to a linear functional on H. So what? So here in this case, what is the Cartan subalgebra? So H is H naught plus Ck plus Cd. So what is the dimension of this? This is L. So we have L elements, H1, H2, HL, and these are 2 more. So this is a L plus 2 dimensional commutative subalgebra of L hat G naught, which is called the Cartan subalgebra of G naught. This is Cartan subalgebra of L hat G naught. So we can extend all our linear functionals from H naught to H by setting them to be 0 on K and D. Okay, so if lambda belongs to H naught's dual, we can consider lambda to be in H dual by setting lambda K is equal to 0 and lambda D is 0. Is what is it?
So L of G naught is nothing but L tensor.
Yes, this is one tensor H. Yes. So one can see that this one tensor G naught is a subalgebra here. Okay, and the identity, so we can identify this by G naught by this map. X goes to one tensor X belongs to G naught. So we can write this in this way. Yes. So this is a Cartan subalgebra of L hat G naught, and we can consider any element of H naught dual to be an element of H dual by setting lambda to be 0 on K and D. All right. Now I define one more linear functional delta. So we define delta in H dual by delta is 0 on H naught and on K. This is 0, and delta on D is 1. This is a linear functional in H dual. So now we set these elements T tensor E naught, F naught as T inverse tensor F naught, and EIs as one tensor EI, Fi as one tensor Fi. I varies from 1 to L. So we will see that these are the Shivale generators of our affine Kac-Moody algebra. So, bracket here is EI bracket Fi is simply Hi. Now, we have to see this bracket. What is this bracket? So, let us see that E naught F naught. So, what is this? This is T tensor D naught, T inverse tensor F naught. Can you find out this bracket? Just find it out. Sorry?
1 tensor minus theta check. It is minus theta.
You will get one another term also, no? Plus some multiple of k, yes, some multiple will come. So, what is this? This is so this is basically, because here we have T inverse, so this is E naught bracket F naught plus the last term which we wrote. So, here the powers are just negative of each other. So, and here power is m. So, this will be just E naught F naught k. E naught F naught k. And what is E naught F naught? We just calculated it. You remember what? No. So, E naught F naught, we saw this is E naught F naught is equal to 2 upon theta theta. Okay. And this we calculated just now. E naught bracket F naught was minus theta check. So, this is 2 upon theta theta k. So, this is the bracket. Okay.
Minus theta check means 1 tensor theta check.
One tensor. Yes. Sorry. Yes. We will be writing those elements maybe tomorrow. So, I think it's too much for today. So, let us stop here, and so I will repeat some of these things again tomorrow because it takes some time to digest.